Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olsen. And I want to welcome you to my cable program. It'll be brief, but every 2 weeks, at which time I'll be providing you with some information about what's going on in the Merrimack School District. Because I think it's important for you to know the great things that we're doing. I want to hear from you periodically and share information to the greatest extent possible. I want to thank Merrimack TV for allowing me this opportunity to spend some time with you. Just a little bit about myself, because many of us have not had a chance to meet yet. This is my 53rd year in education. I spent 16 years in the Lowell Public Schools and 35 years in the Westford Public Schools, both in Massachusetts. 16 of those 35 years in Westford were as the superintendent of schools. And quite honestly, after I retired from Massachusetts, I didn't want to retire from education, because I get great enjoyment from working with outstanding people in terrific communities who want to make wonderful things happen for students day in and day out, and that's what attracted me to Merrimack. So I want to give you a little bit of an update in terms of what we're doing and how we're doing it in the school district. First of all, it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege for me to work in Merrimack. When I looked for a community to work in, I wanted a community that had great spirit, that provided great support to the school district, had great energy, and that's what Merrimack is. That's what I've come to know, and that's what I've come to enjoy about working here. You've been extraordinarily supportive to our school district over the years, and please know how much we appreciate it. This past summer and past year, parents have participated greatly in the reconstruction of the new playground at Thornton's Ferry through the Laura's World Fund and community contributions and community volunteerism. A beautiful new concession stand was just recently opened at the high school. All symbolic of the great spirit and great cooperation that exists in Merrimack. So what have we been doing? Well, in June, late June, the school board held a goal-setting meeting. It was a very energetic, very ambitious goal-setting meeting. It was facilitated by Primex in New Hampshire. And one of the key goals was the hope that we would work on continuing to develop a strong, trusting, supportive, respectful, caring, collaborative, sharing, inspiring, and motivating culture. Everything good or not so good in any organization, whether it's in the private sector or public sector, happens through culture. And our aim is to work together, work collaboratively, work effectively, work cooperatively to build a strong culture in our school district, which will radiate to you through our performance in the school district. Our administrative retreat in late August featured a consultant who was well known in the field of education and spoke to us about the importance of culture. I've asked each one of our administrators to develop 2 goals for this year, one of which will be on what they're going to do to strengthen the culture in our school district. And that's a goal that I'm going to pursue also this year. The school board has identified other goals that came out of that June 28th meeting, but I'm going to allow the vice chair at our upcoming meeting in early October to present those, because that is on the agenda, and I think it's important that the school board, since they're their goals and that we certainly have endorsed them with great enthusiasm, that I think it's important for them to present their goals to you as a Merrimack resident and consumer of education in this town. So that's very important, because that sort of sets a compass for us during the year. Well, what else have we been working on in the last year in the school district? Well, we've updated the student handbooks. We've had our legal counsel look at them to make sure that we meet all of the state and federal statutes and the citations and legal advisories that pertain to education, and that all of the sort of rules of the road are presented in those student handbooks for the student and the parents. We've been revising and updating policy on a regular basis in our school board meetings. We're bringing in either revised or new policies that are necessary to keep pace with statutory requirements, both state and federal. We've updated our safety crisis management plan. We had a committee that worked for about 6 or 7 months in the school district over the past year, and we developed a very comprehensive crisis management plan, a flip chart, where our staff can quickly look if there is an event in a school, whether it's a natural disaster, whether it's something else that may occur, some other emergency. We know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Now that's obviously easier said than done. And that's the reality of situations. But we want to prepare our staff and our students to the greatest extent possible. And to that end, we are beginning a training program for our staff and also for students over the course of the first half of the school year, where we will be training them in the CRAZE safety training. What's important is that people act instinctively and quickly. And that's what we want to make sure that our staff is trained to do, and that they help guide our students. Now, our training certainly will be age appropriate. The training at the high school level will not look the same as the training in the primary level grades, because we want to be sensitive to the developmental needs of children of all ages. And so that's a very important progress that we have made in the school district, and I think you'll find that the staff over the course of the year will find the training very helpful for themselves and for the students. We've been updating job descriptions because some of our job descriptions are aging in nature, and we want to make sure that our job descriptions reflect what staff is supposed to be doing and what we want them to be doing, and what the skills are that we require of our staff in working with our students who have a variety of needs. We're working on a new strategic plan. Our assistant superintendent, our former assistant superintendent of curriculum instruction, Kim Yalot, and now our new assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, Amy Doyle, have been very active in working with a facilitator and a strategic planning team to begin the process of developing a new plan that will carry us through the next 3 years. Very importantly, I've begun a committee at the high school that will put together an alternative pathways program for students at Merrimack High School beginning in the 2023-2024 school year. You know, comprehensive high school is not for everyone, and that's okay, because we're all different. We all have different needs. We all have different passions, and we respond differently to different types of education. And so we're looking to put together a program that is a little bit different than the ordinary conventional school day for a certain number of students that will help them receive their high school diploma by displaying a variety of different competencies that we will approve based on the Department of Education approval of those, the types of competencies that we will be assessing. But we want them to graduate with a high school diploma and not face the possibility of dropping out. Okay, that in many cases reduces the chance for meaningful employment in the future. So we're looking to implement that for the next school year. We're looking to do that with great excitement. You know, what is it when we talk with parents? Some parents will sometimes say, well, what is it that creates a quality school system? Well, first and foremost, it's all about people. It's about the people we hire. And I look to hire people who exhibit 8 attributes that I look for, that I feel will make great educators. And I look to hire great educators, not average people, but great ones, to work with our students, your children. The 8 P's that I look for are strong preparation, strong pride in what they have done and what they are looking forward to doing, because pride separates excellent workers from average workers. And I want to hire excellent workers to work with the children in this school district. So we've got preparation, pride, professionalism. I'm looking for a person who has great passion. This is not a job, this is a passion for a teacher. I'm looking for someone who exhibits great patience and persistence. We're all different, which makes us all the same, essentially. And I'm looking for someone to hire someone who believes in every single child. And that's important, because if I were to ask any of you to name a favorite teacher in life and what was special about them, I think the common responses would be they cared about us, they had a nice smile, a pat on the back, an encouraging word, they inspired and motivated us, and that's what I'm looking for in the people we hire. So we've got preparation, pride, professionalism, passion, patience, persistence. I'm looking for people who have a great personality, who can show kids that they're real, okay? That they can have an enjoyable moment with a child in a classroom. And then the last P is performance, putting all the previous 7 Ps together into performance. Don't tell us what you're going to do, show us what you're going to do. So it all starts with great people. But we need a robust curriculum also, a curriculum that stretches students, a curriculum that is current and relevant. We want to make sure that we look at all of our curriculum areas across our school district to make sure that our curriculum is updated. We want to have adequate supplies for students, because students learn in a variety of modes. And supplies can play a very important part, the types of supplies and manipulatives, etc., in helping a child access knowledge and access the curriculum. We want a number of social, emotional, and academic supports that are available for students. Sometimes a student needs a little bit of extra help in reading or math, and it's our obligation to provide that to them. But that makes a great school system also. Those intervention services are extraordinarily important to help students keep pace with the curriculum and make progress so that they feel good about themselves and they can report with great pride to their families that they're doing well in school. We want to have enough technology, enough devices, with a robust network to make sure that with all of the devices that we have in the school district, that students and our staff are able to gain access to the internet and reliable access without interruption. We want to make sure that we provide our staff with professional development, relevant professional development to their areas of teaching. We want to, very importantly, provide clean, safe, secure facilities. I've contacted the New Hampshire Department of Homeland Security. We will have a member of this staff coming in within the next few weeks to begin a security audit of all of our schools. It's that important. During the COVID years, the last 2 years, school safety took somewhat of a back seat to hybrid and remote instruction. Well, we're all back to school right now. We're all back to in-person learning. And I want to make sure that we do as much as we possibly can to keep our students and our staff safe in our school facilities. We want to make sure that we can provide co-curricular activities to the students, activities after school, beyond the school day, because those are the activities that often allow a student to express their areas of competence and their passions. And that's important, because when Tony Wagner, a Harvard University professor who has written extensively about developing innovators in education, when Tony Wagner speaks, he speaks to the need to discover children's passions and to work those passions and make sure we develop areas of skill, interest, passion, and expertise in children. Easier said than done. But we have to work at it and constantly work at it to make sure that we give every child the best chance possible to be very successful in school. We want to be able to maintain reasonable class sizes, because research for many years has shown that, first and foremost, the quality of the classroom teacher is extraordinarily important in terms of a child's success in school, but also reasonable class sizes so that a teacher gets to know more intimately what the needs, what the strengths and the needs of each respective student are. We want to make sure that we can pay our staff, our entire staff, a competitive wage and benefits, because it's an extraordinarily competitive labor market, particularly now where in education across this nation, the supply of teachers, the supply of paraprofessionals, the supply of support staff such as custodians, nurses, food service workers, all types of support staff that are crucial to the functioning of a school district are at very low supply in terms of the labor market supply and demand phenomenon. It's very difficult finding people, and it makes it incredibly important for school systems and for municipalities in general, and for companies in the private sector to maintain a competitive wage scale and benefits package. We want to make sure that we plan appropriately for responsible capital improvements to our facilities. We take great pride in the condition of our facilities. I think Merrimack has some of the cleanest schools in the entire area, and we're very proud of that. And we thank our staff for keeping them in that condition. But from time to time, things break, things need to be replaced through wear and tear. And so it's incumbent upon us to anticipate what the capital needs and the extraordinary maintenance needs are of our school system. And not only with the initial outlay, but it's important for us to factor in the initial outlay into any possible debt scheduling or cash payment for capital or extraordinary maintenance improvements. But it's also important for us to understand the life cycle cost and the annual budget commitment that we might need to make based on a new capital improvement to somewhere in our school system. So there's lots and lots of things to think about every day, single day of the fiscal year, and every day of the school year. But that's what makes the job so exciting. And so those are just some of the things that make a quality school system. But I want to remind everyone of one other very critical factor, and that's your support. Because that can vary greatly from community to community. And what I've sensed in Merrimack is this extraordinary pride in the school district. There's extraordinary pride in the town. It's a great place. It's an enjoyable place to work, because I have always had the sense that you've wanted to work with the school district to make great things happen for children. And please know how much that's appreciated. So now for the school news. Some of the interesting things that are going on in the school district. And I'll be presenting these every 2 weeks to you, because I enjoy connecting with you. And I would encourage you, if you have any questions, please send me an email. My office door is always open also. If you're driving by the central office over by the high school and you'd like to stop in and introduce yourself, I'd love to meet you and chat for a few minutes. Understand where your children are in the school system and what your hopes and aspirations are for them. At Thornton's Ferry, this year, the motto of Thornton's Ferry is be here, be you, and belong. It's a year-long effort to have children express their uniqueness in life. As I've indicated earlier, our differences make us essentially all the same, because we are all different. We have different likes and dislikes, and that's what life is all about. And so Thornton's Ferry, Principal DeLuca and her staff will be working with the children throughout the year in terms of be here, be you, and belong, so the children can put together a map of uniqueness, a map of understanding in their particular school. And so I want to visit the school periodically to see what that looks like. It's a map of belonging, and isn't that what life is all about? In order for a child to feel comfortable in a class, first of all, that teacher and the support staff have to believe in them, but they also have to feel like they belong. They belong with their peers, they belong with the staff in that classroom, and that's extraordinarily important. So I commend Principal Julie DeLuca and her staff for this initiative this year, We'll check in. I'll provide you with some progress updates on it. But it's exciting, and we want to talk with some of the students also to understand what this project means to them, because it's much more than words. It's much more than a slogan. What's the impact on a child? That's the bottom line. At Merrimack High School, on September 23rd, the school participated in New Hampshire Tackles Hunger Food Drive, which provided food for the Hillsborough County Food Bank and Food Pantry. And so we commend the students and the staff for their initiative, for their social awareness in terms of some of the issues that are going on in society right now, some of the difficulties that are going on in society right now, and taking on the task of having a school food drive, which is so vitally important for local and regional food banks. On October 15th, the Merrimack High School Boys and Girls Cross Country team will be hosting a cross-country festival at the Freestyle Farm in Amherst, New Hampshire. There will be both 4K and 5K races for both boys and girls, and we hope that there'll be a lot of participants in that particular festival. I'm going to close right now with something that is very important for me to share with you, and that is one of our elementary teachers, a third grade teacher at the Massachusetts Elementary School, Sue Bradford, has now become one of 4 finalists in the state of New Hampshire for the Teacher of the Year recognition, which is an extraordinary recognition and really focuses on those teachers who have devoted their life and put into practice all of the great human qualities of preparation, pride, professionalism, passion, patience, persistence, personality, and performance for many years. Their work is each year focused on the needs of students and only on students, and what's in the best interest of the children in a particular school, and in this case, in a particular classroom. So I'm going to read a little bit to you here for a second. It says 4 teachers have been named finalists for Teacher of the Year in New Hampshire for 2023. That includes 3rd grade teacher Sue Bradford from the James Massachusetts Elementary School in Merrimack. More than 120 teachers across the state were nominated, and I'm extremely proud to say that Sue is one of the 4 finalists. The state is anticipating to make that announcement of the Teacher of the Year in about another week to 2 weeks. And we wish Sue the best of luck. We're hoping that she will be named New Hampshire Teacher of the Year. But if she isn't, she can know that we still consider her to be the Teacher of the Year. She's that outstanding. And we have many, many other outstanding teachers in our system. Not only teachers, but support staff members. So I hope this has provided you with a little bit of information in terms of where we are, where we're going in our school district. I'll be spending this time with you about every 2 weeks, and look forward to your feedback, whether it's through email or a phone call or stopping by to visit. So for now, it's Bill Olsen. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.